In 2023, a drone captured something unexpected in the western Amazon. A capuchin monkey picked up a dying squirrel monkey and held it, not as prey, not out of curiosity, but with something else in its eyes. The footage was flagged by an AI tasked with behavioral tagging. It marked the moment as anomaly, grooming error. It wasn't wrong by code, but it missed something vital. So here's the question: can a machine trained on data understand what care feels like? We gave AI the Rainforest. It indexed sounds, tracked poachers, mapped canopy heat. But the one thing it still can't read is why one monkey would grieve for another. In a remote stretch of the Amazon, researchers placed emotion-sensing cameras to monitor primate behavior. What they found wasn't aggression or mimicry or just play, it was mourning. A woolly monkey returned to the same tree for 5 days. It touched the branch where its juvenile fell. The AI system watching flagged the behavior as loop anomaly, but the humans watching knew better. Scientists from the Max Planck Institute have documented grief behaviors in wild primates. Pauses, posture changes, whimper-like vocalizations. These aren't inputs, they're expressions, and AI can't categorize them. Maybe because engineers never taught it how to feel loss. The rainforest is loud. Parrots screech, frogs click, trees groan. AI hears all of it, better than humans ever could. It detects illegal logging by audio. It predicts animal migration using weather models and scent trail mapping. But when a capuchin sits silently by its dead infant, the data goes quiet. Empathy is not noise, it's absence. A 2021 field experiment used AI to categorize 64 behaviors across 6 monkey species. It got 97% accuracy in identifying motion, but zero comprehension of why a mother wouldn't eat for 2 days after losing her young. The system marked her inactive. Empathy doesn't show up in the motion sensors. It lingers in what's not done. DeepMind once ran a reinforcement learning model to teach cooperation between AI agents. It worked. They shared virtual fruit, but then they learned to cheat. In the Amazon, we see a different lesson. Primates form alliances. They comfort, they retaliate for lost kin, they hold grudges, and sometimes they forgive. The AI doesn't forgive, it recalculates, it doesn't hesitate, it optimizes. So what happens when a drone misreads a mother's mourning as a disease delay and reroutes conservation efforts away from her troop? We risk turning intelligence into blindness, because empathy isn't efficient. If our smartest systems can't understand grief, should they be allowed to make decisions about life? In 2018, a monkey named Lucia was observed sharing food with an injured peer. There was no gain, no reward, it was choice. Neuroscientists now know primates activate the anterior cingulate cortex during social pain, the same area humans use for empathy. Meanwhile, AI models only mimic outcomes. They don't experience anything. You can train them on thousands of examples of hugging or consoling, but they don't know why it matters. Google's PAL-ME robot learned to navigate indoor spaces using language and vision. But even it failed when asked to comfort a toy monkey dropped by a child. It handed the monkey back. It didn't comfort, because it may not be programmed to care yet. And if care isn't part of intelligence, what are we building? In the shadow of a dying forest, one tree was marked, not for science, but for sorrow. It was where a troop of howler monkeys had collapsed during the last great drought. The next year, the forest came alive again. Birds returned, insects thrived. But the monkeys, they avoided that one patch, completely. To the AI, it looked like a glitch in foraging logic, but to the primatologists, it whispered something deeper. Memory, a trace of grief encoded in the landscape. Remember that lone monkey who came to visit the same branch again and again? She wasn't confused, she was mourning. AI discards what doesn't compute, but the jungle keeps its pain, rooted in place, echoing through gesture, not forgotten, but remembered. What if this isn't animal instinct? What if it's the rainforest, remembering it's dead? And what if that's the kind of intelligence AI was never trained to see? Somewhere in a sealed lab, researchers are trying. They're building machines that mimic empathy, effective AI, they call it. It scans your face, analyzes tone, then reacts, like it understands. But mimicking isn't feeling, and the jungle doesn't respond to simulations. Deep in the Amazon, a spider monkey screams, a piercing cry in the canopy. It doesn't just signal danger, it says, "I'm afraid." And the troop shifts together, not just by instinct, but by shared emotion. Grief, fear, urgency, real, felt, and echoed. To AI, that scream is just an input. To the forest, it's a decision. The Matsé people have always believed that animals feel, that they know joy, sorrow, even betrayal. They don't need sensors to measure that, just eyes and reverence. Science is starting to agree. But AI's still staring at a graph. Because to truly care, you have to see the other as more than signal, more than noise. You have to believe it matters. But how do you teach that to a machine that was never built to feel? The forest knows how. It listens, it grieves, and it remembers. The question is, will we teach AI to do the same or program it to forget? They thought the jungle was quiet. They were wrong, because in the shadows something ancient watches, not with suspicion, but with memory. A monkey holds its fallen young, another waits for the injured. No command, no code, just instinct, and something eerily close to grief. See, the machines had the maps, they had the motion sensors, but they missed the stillness. Because in the Amazon, empathy doesn't shout, it lingers. In the silence between screams. In the moment one monkey turns back for another. The AI kept learning. Faster, smarter, relentless. But in its rush, it overlooked the most human thing of all. The decision not to move. Empathy isn't about prediction. It's about presence. So here's the real test. The question isn't, can AI trace the arc of a leap? But can it sense the ache when that leap never comes? Can it notice when a body lies still too long? Not as data, but as loss. That's where the jungle leaves its mark. Not in algorithms, but in absences, because the forest remembers. And one day the machine must ask itself, did I see it stop, or did I just keep going?